Hi, so we've come to the end of the first season of the Mental Health Minute for Women, and it has really been an exciting journey, I must say. Meeting up with Abisola Amina and sharing the idea about just putting some information out so we can help persons who suffer from mental health issues, or persons who have family who are struggling or who are having challenges, and just generally people who just want more information, because we are a full being. We are a body, a mind, and as far as I'm concerned, a spirit. So developing this idea was really exciting for me. I think I just went into it thinking to myself, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try and learn as I go along, learn and improve as I go along. And you guys were really supportive throughout the process, listening in. It's a new show, and I am proud. I'm proud of myself and Abisola for taking the leap and for creating such a great show that is simple, effective, and clear in its communication. I'm excited about what's to come for season 2. And although it's goodbye for now, don't be too hurt, don't be too sad, because we are going to continue sort of like expanding the life of the Mental Health Minute. So presently, we have teamed up with DBS on the morning show with Chayla for the Mental Health Break, where we will be discussing some of the topics in the Mental Health Minute. So the Mental Health Minute will still be around indirectly. So we will be posting videos about the Mental Health Break. So please stay tuned for that. I just want to take a little time to recap on the 8 episodes that we've done over the past, I think, 2.5 months. The first show was entitled Let Go of Worries, and in that show I spoke to the T-Way song that I had, which is basically T-Way means to let go, and speaking to how heavy the weight of worry can be on our mind. It's almost like a sinking ship. Episode 2, entitled Live Life on Life Terms. Basically, life will not change its pulse to suit our own beats, whether we like it or not. The sun will rise in the morning and it will set at night. There are certain things that we can't change. And if we learn how to be flexible, we have a greater ability to enhance or to preserve our mental health. The other one is Face Anxiety Head On. Now, in this episode, that's when I began to get a bit personal, and I spoke about one of the challenges I have with my anxiety, and that would be guilt. And I even went deeper into how I dealt with the rising and intense guilt, and I really showed step by step how I did that. For the 4th episode, it was entitled A Mustard Seed of Hope. In the previous episode, I spoke to Facing Anxiety Head On, and this one I got really personal. I got really personal about my diagnosis of depression and how it affected me, in what ways that I coped, and even having the experience of a friend sitting me down and really telling me, Naomi, there's something going on here. The denial I experienced as a healthcare provider, and it's something that was very personal for me, and I decided to just share it, and in the hope that persons can feel that they are not alone. Depression is one of the leading causes of disability in the entire world, according to the WHO. So we need to share our stories. It cannot be taboo. It has to be something that we speak about openly and we begin to understand as a serious medical issue. So for episode 5, it was called Stigma Against Yourself. Now, this episode really connected because it is an issue I think we must tackle so that we can become beings that are well. You know, stigma comes from all ends. It is very heavy as it relates to mental health and mental illness. But even now with the pandemic, the COVID-19, there's so much stigma. There has been stigma with HIV, and it has a lot to do with lack of knowledge and fear. And so I speak to some of the stigma issues as it relates to mental health. And I went deeper into stigma and culture and spoke to how our culture reinforces negative behaviors. And so persons who are seeking help for their drinking problem or their drug problem, or who are having emotional difficulties, maybe emotionally they just can't function anymore and they don't know why. So they go and they seek help at a clinic or they get hospitalized. You find that people ridicule them in the community. It's almost like they prefer them to be sick and in denial rather than get help, whereas we should be doing the opposite. Episode 7, Unblock Your Pathway to Healing. You know, there's so much available in the medical field to help persons recover from various forms of mental illness. We have a variety of anxiety disorders like obsessive compulsive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, the panic attacks. We have persons who have various types of depression, clinical depression, depression in bipolar. We have bipolar disorder from mild to severe. We have persons with schizoid personality problems, schizophrenia. We have persons with personality disorders. We have borderline personality disorders, etc. So there are so many different treatments available within the medical field, and there are a number of persons who've recovered. But I think in our culture, we think that when somebody has what we consider to be a mental problem, a significant mental problem, we think there's no hope. And we believe that there's always some supernatural thing that is causing that, and almost like we're defeated because of that supernatural thing. And I really always wonder why people don't think there's a supernatural cause or demonic cause to high blood pressure or diabetes, you know? And that's something for us to think about. I'm not disputing that there's a lot that is unknown about psychiatry, but there's still a lot unknown just generally and medically, even in our own lives, you know? But there is so much care. There's counseling, there are alternative therapies that the medical field has embraced because of research, like yoga and meditation. We have exercise, there's nutrition, there's various forms of medication. There are so many other therapies that are utilized to help persons to overcome or to manage different types of mental disorder. In episode 8, the title was Therapy in My Mental Health Cup. In this episode, in the previous episode to that one, I spoke about the different care modalities for various disorders, including neurological disorders. And in this one, I got a little deeper into the therapy aspect. What therapy, psychotherapy really means. What are the different some of the different types of psychotherapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, how it can assist somebody who is neurotic. What is the difference between acting in a common way or a neurotic manner? Dysfunctional thought versus functional thought. So I got into that aspect of it, and just to close it off, you know, first to realize that anybody can benefit from counseling or psychotherapy, you know, and oftentimes we are blocked. We block our own pathway to healing because of preconceived ideas, miscommunication, because of cultural belief systems, because of taboo, because of stigma. And unless we speak about it, unless we open our minds and we open our hearts, unless we decide that we're going to read up on different mental disorders and question things, we will continue to struggle, and in the workplace we will continue to have difficulties, because employees or employers just do not understand and do not want to recognize the significant effects of some of these disorders. Every condition, persons experience it differently, and some of the most successful people in the world have admitted that they've had some sort of psychiatric problem. So I just want to encourage all of us to live life on life's terms, because that's one of the things that has helped me greatly, emotionally, psychologically. It has helped me to access peace, apart from gratitude, which I think is a major medicine for any type of emotional or psychological strife that we face. But really accepting life on life's terms and working through it, centering yourself in the now, compartmentalizing, this happened yesterday, tomorrow depends on what I do today. So I'm going to just zoom in into the moment. If I'm washing dishes, I'm going to wash it mindfully. I'm going to feel the suds. I'm going to feel the temperature of the water. I'm going to marvel at the plate, so I can take myself away from all that chatter in the brain. This has been season 1, and as I said, it has been a learning experience. Abisola and I really did our best to put the information we felt that was on our hearts out there, and we're working towards making it bigger and better. Remember, the mental health break will be aired on DBS, the morning show, and we will be uploading it to all our platforms. That will be on YouTube, Let's End Mental Health Stigma Now, and on Facebook, The Mental Health Minute, and on Instagram, _Mental Health Minute. You could also check out my page, which is NGOZI758, Ngozi 758 on Instagram. And you could check out Abisola Amina, which is amina.abisola on Instagram, or Abisola Amina on Facebook. On Facebook, you could get me at Naomi Grandison, and basically information about the program and what we're doing is going to be on these platforms. Mental health is so important, and I think it's the most important thing, and it cannot be separated from overall health. It needs to be grouped as one thing, because it's all medical. There's a lot to learn, but there's a lot that we know already. And it's time for us to overcome those limitations and barriers, those belief systems that block us from accessing the help, or respecting persons who have mental illness, respecting their illness, and respecting that there are treatments for it, just like we would encourage somebody to take their insulin. With this, I would like to leave you with a song. This might be my longest mental health minutes. So I have my guitar. Now is spring, and then the summer. After the fall comes the winter. Life is like the weather. Just take it easy and follow. We live life in seasons. That's what you said. We live life in seasons. Thank you for telling me there's always a reason for the season. Life is full of ups and downs. It's a reason. Ups and downs, those in and outs, those roundabouts, they make us better, and those tears, they teach us how to laugh so much deeper. And when we're alone, then we'll understand to appreciate each other. We live life in seasons. We live life in seasons. Thank you reason. Life is full of ups and downs, it's a reason. Sing with me. C'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Sing with me. C'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Ooh, ooh, ooh. C'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification button, share, follow, comment. We need to get the message out, and it can only be done through you. Thanks for listening and following us for the first season of the Mental Health Minute, and stay tuned for the Mental Health Break and the next season of the Mental Health Minute. Ciao for now.